Zone 12 opposite the post office, and Zone 11 is where we're broadcasting from this morning. This will be the assembly point for a commemoration ceremony, a march that will commence here and end up at the SABC Stadium to mark the 30th anniversary of the Vaal Uprisings. It was on this day, the 3rd of September in 1984, where residents of various townships in the Vaal Triangle took to the streets to demonstrate against the increase in their rates as far as rent was concerned. They voiced their grievances in various ways, and what began as a peaceful march ended with the loss of lives, 14 on the day, on the 3rd of September. And as the violence continued over the next 4 months or so, another 142 people, a total of 142 people that we know of had lost their lives. That was until the violence was quelled, but the ripple effect was felt far and wide throughout South Africa. Let's now speak more about what the local area is doing to mark this occasion. I'm joined by the Executive Mayor of the SABC Municipality, Mr. Simon Mofokeng, who will tell us a bit more about today's proceedings. Mr. Mofokeng, a very good morning to you.
Morning, Ayanda, and viewers of our TV at home.
Ntata, tell us about how you're planning to mark this occasion. What's the program looking like?
This is a very important day to us as the SABC municipality and the people of the Vaal in particular, and South Africa in general, because the 3rd of September brought about, it struck the end to the apartheid era, in the sense that after the June uprising of the 16th of June 1976, this one, apartheid was never the same since the uprising of the Vaal Uprising. So that's why we must mark it in a special way, in the sense that this morning we'll have a ceremonial march that is going to start here at Zone 11 Post Office, here at the church, next to the church, because this church has been cathedral of the struggle, because that's where our activists in the past used to meet here. And even that day on the 3rd of September, the people coming from all over the zones of SABC gathered here, were to march from this point to what was called Houtskop at that time, or the municipal offices. So we'll be marching down to the road as we were marching that day, and then we'll meet at what is called Lungweleng, next to Zone 10, Zone 8, where they were to be joined by the people from Everton. Then there will be now, instead of going to the right, we'll be turning to the left, going towards the Zone 7 Stadium, where the main rally is going to be held. And then at the rally, we are going to listen speeches that will be given by the former leaders of COSAS, Mr. Majola, the former leaders of the FETRO, or the Federation of Transvaal Women. Mendoka Sakaritela will be talking there, and the former Secretary General of the UDF in the Southern Transvaal, Mr. Paul Mashatile, will be doing the talking there. I'll also be doing the talking as a district mayor there. But what is important as we commemorate this day, the question may come that says that day people stand in their mass in protest against increase of rent services, but which were not there at the same time. Now the question may come, if they applied, or the life of our people was deteriorating, the conditions was very bad. The question that may come, what is it that has happened since 30 years ago? I must say, in celebrating 20 years of democracy in being here, a lot of improvement or development has happened, because we have improved in terms of economic development. I must say there are 3 major economic developmental zones that we have identified. There is a R59 corridor, whereby we have the Henneken industry, where we are currently having the Savannah City development, the 25 billion investment that is taking place there. We have got what we call the R42 corridor, where the Vaal Mall, where the Everton, the Shaville, the park development is taking place. We have got what we call the zone of opportunity in Lesedi, whereby we are having the major liquid storage, fuel storage in South Africa that is being constructed there. So these are some of the investments that are taking place in our region. But in addition to that, when we came into power in 1994 as the new government of democracy, we only have about 80,000 households here, or formal housing in the region here. As I'm talking to you today, we've got about 245,000 houses. And then in addition to that, we had only in the black townships, only the major streets. For SABC, it was only Mushosha Street that was tired. In Shaville, only Seiso Street that was tired, and so forth. But today, as we are talking, almost every interconnecting street in our area has been tired. But the other thing that I need to mention as a message of hope to our people is that the 5th administration of Gauteng province, led by David Makura, is now investigating on the process of investing on building the new town here, the River City. The metro that we are talking about that is going to come here is going to come with what you call a river city. In other words, because we have got water here, all major cities all over the world are built on the river bank. So we have not been able to explore this opportunity, this resource that we have, which is water. So Ndade Makura is on the process, working with us, municipalities in the region and national government, Department of Housing, to build a new river city. We believe that by the end of the term of this office, in other words, by the end of this administration, the fifth administration, the process of building the river city will have started at that time. So that's what we hope. And that is going to create a massive employment and opportunities for our people. So it means what our people stood for about 30 years ago, what they fought for, is now starting to be realized. They're now going to reap the fruits of what they fought for.
Thank you so much for that. I think you've gone through all my questions in just that one answer. Thank you very much. And I hope with that development as well will come renewed open dialogue between local councillors, a local municipality, and the people on the ground, so that people wouldn't feel the need to take to the streets as they did 30 years ago to voice their concerns. They can just go directly. So it will be a bottom-up approach and not a top-down approach.
Indicate that we are adhering to what we call the flat government, meaning that we are also on the Facebook, we are on Twitter. You know, any residents can ask us questions anytime.
I like that.
We're accessible as government.
I love accessibility, accountability, and implementation. Very important. Let's take a quick ad break. More when we return. Stay with